Hello. Michael Rollins nominated me to take part in the How Much Bullshit Can You Handle challenge, which was started by Dick Coughlan. In this challenge, you have to look at a tweeter who is full of bullshit and see how many of their tweets you can get through before your mind implodes. Dick Coughlan managed to get through 77 tweets of how much bullshit can you handle? Oh, he did Paul Joseph Watson. That's a classic. Anyways, I've been nominated to do Tomi Lahren, who's basically like a Fox News Barbie, who's not on Fox. She's on, what is she on? The Super Faith One Nation Patriot Network. I'm going to see how many of her tweets I can get through. Dick Coughlan got through 77 on his one. Michael Rollins got through how many? 129. This is a lot of bullshit to get through. I have to try to get through 129 tweets. So I guess I'll just work my way through it and then I'll try to add up later how many I got through. Let us begin. So I only decided to do the main tweets. This is the first tweet on her main tweets. Folks, the alt-left ignores radical Islam, blames global warming for terror, special kind of blissful ignorance. Quoting this person, climate change is creating the conditions for terrorism to thrive. We ignore it at our own peril. So I think climate change does drive terrorism because it drives people from rural areas to city areas where they're often radicalized in the Middle East and they can't rely on their land anymore and they need something to do and they're disaffected. And there's studies on this. I'm not just making this stuff up. I know it sounds far-fetched. But the thing that got me about this is the alt-left. I'm not entirely sure what that is. Maybe people in the comments can tell me what that is. But apparently the traditional good old fine old left is not blaming global warming for terror. That's the evil alt-left. I don't trust those guys. Next. Wait, Obama killed bin Laden? Really? I thought our US Navy SEALs did that. Quoting, the ignorance of this child is amazing. Climate change isn't weather. That's true. We can reduce carbon and fight ISIS at the same time. Obama killed bin Laden. I don't know how the bin Laden thing is connected to that, but all of that is accurate. And then, Obama killed bin Laden? Really? I thought our US Navy SEALs did that. Well, that's kind of like just fake patriotism and fake jerking off the troops, because we all know that. We know it was the Navy SEALs who killed bin Laden, but we also know that Obama was integral in helping set up the operation which led to the death of bin Laden. He was the commander-in-chief, and I think if Trump had done such a thing, and you worship God Emperor Trump, we would never be hearing the end of this. Next, maybe when the left gets over its love affair with Islam, they will understand why President Trump wants a travel ban. Hashtag Great America. Love affair with Islam? I really don't see it that way. I see it as more like people on the left want to be tolerant and understanding of people who are not the radicals, who are also Muslims, but that does come with some difficulty because, for example, the London terrorism that just occurred and other acts of terrorism make it difficult to not blame all Muslims and to not blame Islam. But I do think it's more to do with the left's desire to be tolerant of a variety of people. It's not because they have a love affair with Islam. I think that's really overselling it. This is not an isolated incident. This is not just a crazy lone wolf. No, not every religion does this. This is Islamic terrorism. Wake up. You know, to that I think, even if it is Islamic terrorism, what is the most effective thing we can do to fight this scourge? What can the world do? I don't think it's just saying Islamic terrorism a lot and edgelording out about Islam, but some people seem to disagree with me on that. Hey liberals, this is what we are fighting against while you fight the weather. Hashtag London Bridge. This tweet is stupid because it's relative privation. Just because terrorism exists and is a big problem doesn't mean that global warming's not a problem. Maybe this was linked to the other people she was talking to earlier about climate change impacting terrorism, but climate change does impact terrorism. I wouldn't say it's the cause or the sole cause of this situation. There's many factors, it's multifaceted, but this is just relative privation, and according to some scientists and experts, climate change is the largest issue, and it doesn't mean that terrorism's not also an issue. So Tommy Lahren retweeted this one. London mayor says terror is part of living in an urban city. BS. Kill the terrorists and don't let them into your country. Very reductionist approach. I think they've been trying to kill the terrorists for quite a long time. That's not quite working. How do you figure out who the fuck a terrorist is? There is a lot of practical concerns here. And what the London mayor said, I mean, it shouldn't be part of living in an urban city, but terrorism is increasing, and what we need is solutions. We don't need people just edgelording out about it. And it's kind of like he's saying, you know, this happens in a city. He's not saying, it's great that this happens. It's like, oh, we should get used to this. This should be a fantastic thing. I think that's basically just misinterpreting what he's saying. But you know what? I mean, maybe I'm not the right one to do this tweet challenge, because I feel like I always want to try to understand where the other person's coming from, even if it's Tommy Lahren and she's unbearable. So maybe I'll just get through like a bajillion tweets here. Tommy Lahren retweeted Donald Trump. Whatever the United States can do to help out in London and the UK, we will be there. We are with you. God bless. There's not much to say about that one. God, yeah, I mean, God wasn't there to save the people, but it's nice that you are talking about them. Spokane, alas, trigger warning, I'm here. Spokane GOP, she's in Spokane, so what? If Dems cared so much about climate change, why didn't they do anything about it in 2009 when they had almost total control? I mean, that's a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of thing. Because had they done something about it, you would be whining about the fact they'd done something about it. And now you're whining about the fact they didn't do something about it, because no matter what you do, you're going to whine about the Democrats. So, this is her quoting Kathy Griffith. Women, just women, should run shit for a while. We'll be selectively inclusive. But you guys have done enough damage for now, thanks. Tommy Lahren says, all women, Kathy, or just the ones chosen by the unloving and intolerant left, asking for a friend? I mean, right-wingers are pretty stupid, so, I mean, I would personally prefer ones from the left, but that's just me. Been sitting here waiting for a delayed flight watching CNN for 5 hours. In that time, they've covered Russia and climate change. That's it. Wow. Why is that wow? Because the Russia thing is in the news, and it's a big deal, and they're talking a lot about the corruption to do with Trump and Russia. Now, a lot of Trump's defenders want to say, there's nothing there. There's just, like, smoke. There's no issues. But they need to research it, and yeah, it's become a real political problem for Trump. So they're going to talk about it. And climate change, I mean, again, people say that it's basically the largest issue facing mankind. It's a macro issue. But there are other issues like terrorism. I think I understand that. If other people don't understand that, then I don't know what they're going on about. Tommy Lahren retweeted Donald Trump Jr. The only thing Kathy Griffin is a victim of is her own ignorance. 24 hours from fake apology to victim status is impressive by any standard. I hate to agree with Donald Trump Jr., but yeah, because I mean, Kathy Griffith's thing was pretty stupid. I think the outrage over it is really over the top and ridiculous, and people just took it way too seriously. But what she did was stupid, and she didn't really give a proper apology. But then again, apologize to the orange goblin with the tiny hands and the small penis. It feels wrong to apologize to that guy. But I was against what she did on the grounds that he is a democratically elected president, and I do that because of the fact that he lost the popular vote. So I think it's wrong to do that, and I didn't buy her kind of fake tears. I think she's just sort of an attention monger. But at the same time, the hysterics about it is really over the top, especially when it's coming from right-wingers who are apparently such badasses on every other issue and care so little about anyone else's fee-fees, and it's always like facts over feels. When something offends them, they go completely berserk. Flashback Friday, something or other, whatever. Watching Senator Markey on CNN declare that pulling out of the Paris Accord damages our credibility. Funny. What about Obama's red line in Syria? Okay, now it's getting annoying because it's like, that's got absolutely fucking nothing to do with this issue. It's like, oh, you're saying this damages our credibility? What about Obama? Well, but Obama's not the president anymore. That was quite a while ago. I can't believe you're still using that talking point. You gotta update your talking points. How long is this stuff gonna be effective where you just say, Obama, red line, Syria? You know, I think in the future they'll be like, well, Trump just shat on the table in front of the Prime Minister of Japan. What do you have to say about that? Or what about Obama's red line? That was a lot more embarrassing, wasn't it? No. I mean, we have to move forward. Just a reminder of how the liberal environmentalists treat their Mother Earth. Paris Accord, save our planet. I can't comment on this because I have no idea what this is a photo of, or where it is, or who put that rubbish there. Don't know. Ever notice how Trump-hating Hollywood liberals don't actually articulate why they hate him? They just bitch. He's a meanie. No, that's not true. They're very specific about it. Like his executive orders, his Muslim ban, I mean the whole thing with the Paris Accords they just did, the fact that he acts like a giant whiny baby. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say he's a meanie. Normally they're complaining about how he lacks discipline and how he just seems like a disheveled, crazy child, and he didn't seem familiar with the leader of North Korea. And he said, wow, turns out that healthcare is complicated. Who could have known that? And he's going to kick like thousands of people off the healthcare rolls. He hasn't drained the swamp at all. He's just increased the swamp, and he's surrounded by corruption. There are many, many reasons why people don't like Donald Trump. And he's a liar. He's gone back on many of his campaign promises, which is bad for his followers, but probably good for the rest of humanity. But yeah, he's doing a lot of douchey shit. And he constantly embarrasses himself on the world stage. And he's an idiot. Must I go on? Kathy Griffin broke down in tears Friday while addressing the response to her anti-POTUS photo controversy. Tomi Lahren, I'm embarrassed for you. Grow up. I mean, I can't really defend Kathy Griffin in this situation, so whatever. Liberals demand President Trump accept the climate change apocalypse is science. Okay, according to science, we have 2 biological sexes. Fair? I mean, what science says that we have 2 biological sexes? Biological sex. I think sometimes biological sex is described as what you're assigned at birth. So you'll be assigned male or assigned female, but there is also intersex. And I think basically intersex people are shoehorned into male or female because those are the 2 categories that we have. But it's not necessarily a science in itself when they assign intersex people to male or female. That's just the nearest guess to it. So it's somewhat arbitrary. So I think that the science on biological sex is obviously not something that we fully understand at this point. Male and female are the main 2 categories, and they're the ones that we put people into. But I think just saying we have 2 biological sexes and that's all we've got is definitely overlooking intersex people, and the fact that it is somewhat of a social construct how we decide that they are male or female. So if you said that there was 2 biological sexes and you said that I had to believe that, I would say I can agree that those are the 2 main categories. But I don't agree that that's the end of the story. I think it's more complicated than that. And it's also interesting that this is saying, because liberals demand that the climate change apocalypse is science, then that means that if you agree that there's 2 biological sexes, we'll agree that the climate apocalypse is coming. Why? Is that how you make your decisions? You make your decisions based on, like, what you can get liberals to admit. So if I'm like, yes, Tomi Lahren, there is 2 biological sexes. She'll say, okay, well, I can give you the climate change apocalypse. Is that how her principles work? That's how she decides things. I think that's just a tribalistic point of view. That's like the definition of partisanship. Maybe President Trump will admit climate change is a thing when you'll admit borders are a thing. She's doing the same thing again. She's just like, you know, we're just bartering and trading points of view out of some arbitrary contest, not because we actually believe in these things. Maybe President Trump will say climate change is a-okay if you are okay with his wall things. It's like, why are we bartering our beliefs? Don't we just believe things and then argue from positions of genuine principles? Okay. Apparently not. Trump melted so many snowflakes rejecting the Paris Accord, sea levels have risen 2 inches, actually causing an environmental crisis. Ha 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 ha. They say conservatives don't have comedy. But climate change could actually cause environmental crises and many deaths, according to scientists. Ha 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 ha. Oh, mass death is funny. Tomi Lahren retweeted, I would like to extend a personal thanks to Kathy Griffin and Hillary Clinton for their work this week to further the Trump 2020 campaign. Neither here nor there on that, but I agree on Hillary Clinton. I don't like her. Next one. Women's March. Today is National Gun Violence Awareness Day. Today we wear orange because gun violence is a women's issue. Correct. The ability to protect and defend ourselves is a woman's issue. Glad you're finally coming around to logic, reason, and the Constitution. I think American gun culture is so stupid because they're a threat from all these guns, and their solution to it is have more guns, and they already have twice as many guns as they have people. They've got more than enough guns for everybody. They could destroy 3/4 of their guns, and they would still have enough fucking guns for everybody. But everything to conservatives is just an excuse to get more guns. So they're saying, Gun Violence Awareness Day, when people actually get shot and killed and murdered with guns, is a good way to hawk more guns. Because, fuck their lives, we just want more guns. That's the only thing that actually matters. It's disgusting. Leonardo DiCaprio said, today our planet suffered. It's more important than ever to take action. Paris Agreement. Tommy Lahren, in action. Like practice what you preach, private jet boy. Well, look, I mean, the way I feel about celebrities who have private jets and people like Bono who live very high-flying lifestyles is, at the very least, they're doing something, because there's a lot of other rich people, probably like Tommy Lahren, who flies around in private jets, who do that without raising awareness, actively working against raising awareness, and not giving a fuck about anybody else in the entire world except their own greed and their own money. And Bono may be a douchebag, but I've always respected him for at least talking about Africa and for at least doing something, because he could easily choose to just sit back and do absolutely fucking nothing and be like Tommy Lahren and discourage people from doing things, and so could Leonardo DiCaprio. But even though they're rich, even though they're very privileged, they do decide to spread awareness, and they do decide to say, like, hey, maybe we should do something about this. I know that I have a private jet, I know that I'm not perfect, I know that my carbon footprint is probably not too good, but I can spread awareness to many, many people because I'm famous and I'm known. But Tommy Lahren is like, I am in my own way a well-known figure, and I'm going to do butt shit nothing, and I'm also going to discourage people from improving the world. Good job. Mother of All Bombs raffle winner. No idea what the fuck that means. Thanks for giving this piece of good history a home. What is this a picture of? This page is not available. Alright, no idea. Something about Bernie Sanders. Hey, Bernard. Being that you're a socialist and all, please don't tell us what our American values are. Thanks. Senator Sanders said, to the people of Germany and elsewhere in the world, please don't think that President Trump represents American values. He doesn't. I'm neither here nor there on that because, I mean, Tommy Lahren does represent a large viewpoint of selfishness and douchebaggery. They just want to cut taxes and turn America into their own personal piggy bank and playground. And it's sometimes difficult to tell what percentage of Americans or how many people actually think in that fashion, and if that is kind of like what America is about. I hope it's not. I hope it's more like compassion and kindness and actually looking after your fellow human. But it's hard to tell. I mean, they've literally got a president who's a reality TV star. And reality TV is wildly popular in America. So to a certain extent, he does represent something about America. Definitely the shitty part of America, which I don't like so much. Here's a list of everyone and everything Hillary Clinton has blamed for her loss. You know, it might be interesting to see what percentage of Tommy Lahren tweets I actually agree with, and retweets, and Fox News tweets, because, yeah, she can't admit the fact that she was a terrible candidate and that's why she lost. And she can't admit that it was her unlikability, and putting aside the actual more real stuff of the Electoral College, she was still a terrible candidate, and she should probably blame herself more. I give Tommy Lahren a pass on that one. Can you imagine President Obama saying this? So glad to have an American first POTUS, Great America. The White House. I was elected to represent the citizens of Pittsburgh, not Paris. It's just a talking point. It just shows you that they just gobble up the talking points. That they love words. They don't love actual policies and actions. They don't love whether things actually work or make sense or whether the president is doing a good job at all. They just love the rhetoric and they love the words. And you find a lot with right-wingers that they'll say, for example, President Trump, he, you know, when he was a candidate, or he had a flag that was LGBT. So he can't be that bad for, like, LGBT rights, can he? It's like, are you literally that shallow and that stupid that just an image of him holding a flag and, like, doing a thumbs up, that's enough for you? It's like when Bush was on an aircraft carrier and said, mission accomplished. And a lot of people, I think, probably bought that. Like, mission accomplished in Iraq. He had a banner and he was wearing a fucking flight suit. Good enough for me. No, I mean, it's just that right-wingers love the rhetoric. They gobble it up, but they don't think about whether something's practical, like, lock her up, lock her up. And then he says, I'm not going to lock her up. And they're like, oh, we're stupid, but we're still going to, like, believe you anyways, because we are really stupid. And he's like, oh, sweet. And build a wall, we're going to build a wall. And then everyone's like, the wall's not practical, and it's never going to get off the ground, and Mexico's not going to pay for it. But we'll keep believing because you keep saying it. Smart. Proud our POTUS is placing American jobs over the feelings of the climate change alarmists. Well, there could be American jobs in clean energy, and in rebuilding infrastructure, and in all kinds of areas that he's not interested in creating jobs in, and his jobs record so far has been atrocious. So he chooses to create jobs in a narrow area that isn't necessarily going to help America in the long run, may provide a few more jobs in that particular industry as they shed jobs overall. I'm going to look it up right now. Trump job creation. Fortune.com, how many jobs has he actually created? Oh, I've already seen this one before. When basically everything that he promised was either misleading or false. He's created shit all. He's basically just coasting on the jobs that Obama was already creating. But at a certain point, we are going to see the actual shortfall. Some shit about Kovviv, which is the stupid tweet that Trump made when he was like, the media is Kovviv, or something. Coda drinking her Kovviv. Brad Cooney. Tomi Lahren marches on, Brad Cooney, whatever, loves the troops. Thanks for the love, Brad, onwards and upwards, whatever. Hollywood liberals are crying about the Paris Agreement on their private jets. Well, I've already been over that. I mean, I think they're better to be crying over the Paris Agreement on their private jets than not crying about it, because we should care about climate change. Will Kathy Griffin be banned? Stephen Crowder, oh good, he faced Twitter increase hate speech removal to meet EU demands. Maybe, I don't know. This should be fun. See you in July. Her going to, like, Politicon or whatever. What house is he in again? That's just what I thought. You're trying too hard. Get him done. People in Kovviv houses shouldn't throw Kovviv, is what Hillary Clinton said. I think you're all lame. Tomi Lahren, wait, Hillary unloaded an entire lifetime of lies. Finally, great America. Hillary Clinton unloads on what led to her election defeat. I mean, God, as long as she keeps attacking Hillary, I'm gonna be agreeing with Tomi Lahren, which is annoying. Clinton, email scandal was biggest nothing burger ever. Are you freaking kidding me? Well, I think Tomi Lahren is probably both right and wrong in this. It was a big nothing burger in that nothing was revealed and it was a total waste of time. And it was not the dramatic scandal that we actually expected. It was just a whole lot of nothing burgers. And she's right, New York Times covered it like Pearl Harbor. Well, I don't know exactly how New York Times covered it, but it was completely over the top. And it led to like fucking Pizzagate and all this moronity. But at the same time, it did have quite a large impact on the election. So in that sense, she's wrong. Because it definitely had a large impact on her campaign. So, CNN host has strong words about liberal intolerance. It's Fareed Zakaria. Hell hath frozen over. Not really, because Fareed Zakaria is a very kind of moderate, middle-of-the-road centrist type who's always willing to turn around and take a dig at the left just for... Am I going to say it unironically? Virtue points? Centrist points. Just for centrist points. Look at me, I'm above everything, I'm a centrist. The noise liberals make when they remember November 8, 2016, hashtag Kovviv. Who can figure out the true meaning of Kovviv? So boring. Hillary, maybe Russia, the DNC, Comey, and sexism aren't to blame for your loss. Maybe, just maybe it's you. Hashtag Great America. I disagree with the Great America part because that is just Trump's bullshit. Make America great thing. Fuck Trump. He's a piece of shit. But Tommy's right. Uh-oh, someone told Hillary to attempt humor again. People in coffee houses shouldn't throw coffee. Well, the stupid thing about this is that she found Trump's stupid coffee joke awesome and hilarious, which it wasn't. Trump's joke was also lame. Politician jokes are normally lame. Trump's joke was suck. Hillary's joke was suck. You all suck. Fuck all of you. Fuck you. So, I mean, that just shows how she's a massive suck-up to Trump, and no matter what Hillary says, she's going to dump on Hillary, because, again, it's that partisan bullcrap. If we are supposedly a basket of deplorables, what does that make them? I don't know what that is. Our Leos give so much. A Mississippi sheriff's deputy shot and killed over the weekend while protecting his community is being... Don't know nothing about that. Okay. When they go low, and there's a picture of Tomi Lahren and Hillary bust on her boobs. Tomi Lahren, you know some people have been doing some horrible things to the heads of our political figures. Oh, I get it. I didn't get it before. Tomi Lahren retweeted, take a look in the mirror, lefties. You are what you say you fight against. My final thoughts from Miss Kathy Griffin. Yeah, I mean... I'm struggling here because it's about Kathy Griffin. I thought what she did was stupid. I think the hysteria about it is absurd. People are very, like, triggered about it. Where it was just, like, edgy humor, which supposedly that they're all used to and they don't mind, but in this case, unacceptable. But I don't really defend her. She did something stupid. Could be perceived as a threat or some sort of violent thing, so it's a bad idea. And she's talking a lot about Hillary Clinton, who I really just don't like, and I think she needs to take more responsibility for her losses. So I'm not getting as much stupid bullshit out of this as I could. It's just bad timing, based on the news. We've got work to do. Great America, Facebook link. What is this about?
Hello, my fellow America-loving, hard-working, red, white, and blue-blooded, Trump-supporting patriots. Tomi Lahren here. I'm excited to be a part of Great America.
That's so lame how she's like, Trump-supporting patriots. Other people, fuck off. You're not part of our red, white, and blue. You don't count at all. Just the Trump people. If you're not a Trump supporter, get the fuck out of my video. Here, quoting some guy, America broke up with the Democrats in 2016. The left's behavior since then has only validated our decision. I would say based on Trump's historic unpopularity and the historic unpopularity of Congress and the Senate, etc., that you could have a massive rude awakening because the left was much too arrogant about the election, but the right could easily be prone to having the same arrogance and having it all blow up in their face. So I'd be careful about that. But they're probably going to far overextend themselves and end up shooting themselves in the face, as political sides tend to do. President Trump's decision to pull the United States out of the Paris Climate Accord is a stunning abdication of American leadership and a grave threat to our planet's future. I agree. Tomi Lahren said, abdication of leadership like ignoring Islamic terrorism because words hurt. I mean, that is so vague. What is she referring to? I've got no fucking idea, but I know idiots will eat it up. The Daily Caller, Chelsea Clinton doesn't know how she will explain Donald Trump to her kids. Maybe she can start by explaining why her liberal entertainer friends thinks it's cool to pose with our president's severed head. Again, what does that got to do with Chelsea Clinton? What does it have to do with anything? To do with what Chelsea Clinton said. They do this thing where they're just like, if Kathy Griffin did something bad, then we're just going to throw that at everybody from now on. You know? And if some people on the left didn't say Islamic terrorism exactly how we want them to, even though we have no policy solutions, so it's just a whole bunch of hot air in the first place, we're just going to keep throwing that at them all the time. They have a love affair with Islam. And it's just talking points. Sick. Trump slams Kathy Griffin and he said his 11-year-old son was struggling with it. Something to think about. Is it something to think about? Donald Trump Jr. For those asking, I said on air I thought the beheading imagery by Griffin about the president was disgusting and inappropriate. Thanks, Jake, but you didn't say if you thought CNN should sever ties to her and stop putting her on air. Let us know, thanks. That's another whatever tweet. Real Donald Trump is pulling US out of the Paris climate deal. Thoughts? I have some thoughts, whatever. Fighting weather is all they've got. Oh my god. It's climate, it's not weather. Oh my god. Fucking idiot. I mean, it's taken a while to get to the real stupidity, I guess. Tomi Lahren, amazing. Left goes out of its way to validate Kathy Griffin's sick attention grab just as they do every sick act perpetrated by their own. Evidence? Citation, please. Tomi Lahren, the severed Trump head and hanging Obama images are both disgusting. Ooh, that's nice. Here's the difference. Kathy is a leftist, celebrated public figure. That's interesting because Donald Trump perpetuated the birther conspiracy, saying that Obama was born in Kenya, and so did Sarah Palin. And that was very damaging and negative and stupid and a conspiracy theory, unproven, unfair, and could easily be seen as racist because you're saying like you should go back to Africa or something. So, I mean, that's your president. I think the president is more of a celebrated rightist figure than Kathy Griffin, and I actually don't know if Kathy Griffin is very celebrated. I don't think she actually has very many fans. I mean, she's known, people know her a lot, but I never really talked to anybody who thought, you know what, I really love Kathy Griffin. What if we did this to Hillary or Obama? Riots in the street. Y'all are sick. It's a bad look. I'm not a fan. But, I mean, people have said all kinds of disgusting shit about Obama and Hillary. And done all kinds of disgusting shit about Obama and Hillary, and there's no riots in the street. There's a lot of people who are angry about it, just like there are people who are angry about this. But there was no riots in the street, and I don't think there would be. There would just be a lot of angry people yelling, which is kind of like what happens. Don't anger the climate justice warriors. So we're seeing like everything on her feed is about Kathy Griffin, climate change, Trump being amazing, the left being bad. Tomi Lahren, sucks when the rule of law gets in the way of your illegal immigration, eh? Too bad. God bless Texas. So they were protesting something, and as we all know, right-wingers hate protest, and protesters are automatically stupid. They were protesting Governor Greg Abbott's new law against sanctuary cities. It's true, like, left-wing protesters are always snowflakes and babies and stupid, and terrible, and they suck. And then right-wing protesters are like patriots, heroes, using their freedom of speech, showing the politicians what's what, holding them to account. And it's just hypocritical. I think that most of the time, a lot of the time, protest is a fantastic thing that more people should do, and protest should be celebrated as making your voice heard. And I get sick of all these people saying, like, whiny snowflake babies, protesting. Yeah, well, you're making your voice heard. That's what protest is. And people on the right, they hate protest a lot of the time, because they just really don't like it when the people have their voice, and the voice disagrees with their right-wing ideology. And I'm sure sometimes people on the left judge right-wing protesters as well. But I don't necessarily. Like, even if the Tea Party protesters were morons, I mean, they were still partaking in giving their voice, just saying like, hey, my point of view is that you should cut taxes on the rich and basically take away services that help me. Yeah, freedom. Tomi Lahren, if you're not going to stop flying on jets for... Oh my god, stop going on about it. It's like the 5th tweet. She's talked about riding on jets and... Gosh, she's obsessed. Are you ever happy, like, about anything? Been feeling pretty good since November 8, 2016. How about you, bud? Trump's president. I feel great, no matter what happens. No matter how much he fucks up things on the world stage. No matter how much of a mess he makes of everything. I'm happy. How to anger a conservative. Hurt American jobs. How to anger a liberal. Insult the climate change crusade. I would say there's many more ways to anger a liberal than that. There's more than 2 things. And there's other easy ways to anger conservatives, such as saying that they should repeal the Second Amendment. Don't worry, I'll defend Kathy Griffin's First Amendment rights to make herself look like a demented a-hole she is. Fair enough. Left priority 1, Russia. Priority 2, fighting weather. Stop. Stop calling it weather. Oh. God. Photos like this make me even more proud to be on the right side of the election. Now it's getting difficult. Because it's getting so repetitive. It's just getting painful now. Hey Spokane, it's snowflake melting season. See you Saturday. Okay, she's still just talking that thing. More evidence the unloving and intolerant liberals have lost their minds. What is this a reference to? Oh, it's Kathy Griffin again. Young Trump supporters not alone. Don't back down. Check out today's Good Luck America Snap story. Dunno. Thanks to those who helped us raise money for our vets. Raffle one is for the mother of American bomb flags? Oh my god, they're making flags that celebrate the massive bomb. How pathetic is that? I mean, they're just desperate for something that Trump did right. Germany says it cannot depend on America anymore. It's 2017. Perhaps it's time you didn't depend on America. So yeah, just saying fuck Germany, I guess. Tommy Laren, Snowflakes, be sure to check out the Good Luck America Snapchat story today. It's Tommy Laren on today's Good Luck America, Snowflakes, Hate Speech, and the Cauldron of Campus Politics. Check it out on Snapchat. God, snowflakes, 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 snowflakes. Teen spots school flag on grounds and holds it up until someone can come hoist it back up. Raised right. Fantastic achievement. The most ignorant celebrity Memorial Day tweet ever. I disagree. At least he recognized our fallen warriors. Few celebs do. I give him a pass on this. I don't know what the tweet was. Let's go have a look. Today, remember those who made the ultimate sacrifice for America. People giving him shit because they're saying you never served and you just make crappy dance music. And there's a picture of him, like with the American flag, looking like he served or whatever. You know, that's kind of funny because she was just lecturing Leonardo DiCaprio a whole lot because she disagreed with him on climate change. Now she's saying this is fine, he can wrap himself in the flag and make it look like he served. Because that's kind of like what that picture looked like. And that's fine because it like suits my agenda. But when a celebrity has an agenda that I disagree with, then I just have to find ways to tear them down. Raffling for the flag thing. Look, it's the unloving and intolerant left. She says that a lot. Showing true colours once again, so it's obviously a talking point. Senator Tim Kaine's son among 8 charged with disrupting pro-Trump rally. I'd have to look into the details of that, can't be bothered. Freedom isn't free, God bless our fallen heroes. Okay, it's just sort of like patriotism stuff. Remembering my grandpa today. Okay. Beautiful tribute. Rest in peace with the fallen warriors. Memorial weekend. Oh, for some families they're dead because they were made to go to Iraq in a failed war for oil and profit, where the military-industrial complex killed them, and basically you want to send more of them into war. Yeah. Lib logic. Terrorism has nothing to do with Islam, but fossil fuels and human activity will cause the climate apocalypse. She's very repetitive. Okay, that's the thing with the vets. Linda Sarsour dismisses female genital mutilation question because a white male asked. Just remember, feminists, she's your hero. Sad reminder of what feminism has turned into. I don't know, I've seen a lot of people criticizing Linda Sarsour. She doesn't seem like a real idol to a lot of the people I've talked to. But I guess some people like her. Tom Larry, typical liberal response to my post with the Make America Great flag. Feeling sorry for ISIS terrorists. Wow, Christians who smile and cheer death. Shake my head. Well, it's not so much that they're feeling sorry for ISIS, it's just that thou shalt not kill is part of the Christian doctrine. So it's a little bit hypocritical to celebrate deaths. That's all. Oh, so this is what the raffle is about. It's about the flag that was on the C-130 that dropped the mother of all bombs that killed over 95 ISIS soldiers. And now they've got a boner over it. Okay. Because I guess killing 95 ISIS soldiers is Trump's greatest achievement. General Keane, we're going to see a wave of attacks during Ramadan. Imagine that. Yet some insist terrorism has nothing to do with Islam. Interesting coincidence here. I don't think it has nothing to do with Islam. I also don't think it has everything to do with Islam. I think it's a complex situation. I know that makes me horribly regressive. The immigrant became a scapegoat. Joe Biden blasts the President of the United States for stoking our darkest emotions. Illegal immigrants aren't scapegoats. They are illegal immigrants. If you love our country, respect our laws. Simple. She's like, illegal immigrants aren't scapegoats. They are illegal immigrants, and that's bad. And they're terrible, and they're criminals. So you're basically just backing up what he's saying. You're just saying, yeah, they're terrible, they're bad. Make Texas cool down again. Make Texas cool down again. Probably something to do with climate change. We discussed why Beyonce acts like a whore. Ugh, I mean, that's Steven Crowder, but... They fucking hate sexual freedom and liberation. Making fun of the president has replaced actual news. Sad. It was funny how Trump pushed that dude out of the way. Like an insecure man-baby child. He's like, no, I have to get to the front of this. It was funny. Thank you, Tomi Lahren, for your continued support of the president. We've got work to do, let's keep going. Yeah, let's talk about the infamous butt pad. No idea what that is. End of May update. Though it's the only thing they've dedicated themselves to, the Dems have yet to prove a Russia conspiracy. Well, they want to look into it, but Trump fired the guy who was looking into it. If you can't look into something, it's hard to uncover evidence. So, I mean, you should probably give the guy who fired the guy who was investigating it shit for that. CBS News. If our leaders lie about the problems we face, we'll never solve them, Clinton says during a commencement speech. Hill, do you think you should be talking about lies given your, well, entire life pattern? You're a Donald Trump fan. Come the fuck on. Tomi Lahren is actually Regina George minus the whole bus thing. Really? Because of the two of us, which is us saying mean shit about the other. Sweetie, I don't even know who you are. Don't know what's going on there. Trump budget cuts? I don't know. I mean, I'm just getting bored. Honestly, I mean, I was talking to Garrett earlier about this, and he said that that might be the problem, that you might just get bored eventually. Happy Friday. Pro dancer with cerebral palsy calls disability the best tool God ever gave him. Just like your opinion, man. Sad mission, not gonna happen. Great America. While the right wants to help Trump make America great again, the left just wants to see Trump and America fail. No, not really. I mean, Mitch McConnell said back in the day that he wanted Obama to fail, and it was his job to make Obama fail. So this is literally a line that the right wing has used, that they're now being outraged about. Tomi Lahren explains the infamous butt pad. No idea what that is. Tomi Lahren has been featured in 3 rap songs. This is counterculture as it gets. They're pushing that counterculture thing. Find yourself someone who looks at you like Whale looks at Tomi Lahren. How to get fired by the blah 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 blah. That's probably cheating, but I'm going to say that's what I got up to. Same polling that told us Hillary would be president in Great America. How low can Donald Trump? That's a little bit different because the polling for Trump can occur over a much longer period of time now that he is president. So if it's consistently low, and we see many different studies, then I think you're going to have to admit that he is incredibly unpopular and things are not looking good in terms of his popularity. Does that mean that they should be complacent when the next election rolls around? No, because I think complacency could easily be the death of their chances for 2020. And it's better to have the belief that they're going to lose and that they're hungry for it and they're going to fight for it as much as they possibly can. I think that's the smart way to go about it. But the Democrats are morons and they're probably going to fuck it up. Anyways, that's as far as I got on Tomi Lahren. It's been a bit of a mixed bag. Probably not as bad as if I'd seen like Mike Cernovich, I guess, or some other people, because she's just kind of like a generic right-wing robot. Sort of just semi-brainless, repeating talking points over and over again. And I think that's the issue with Tomi Lahren, is that it's just not very interesting or exciting. It's just her, like, pandering. How many tweets did I get through? 117? It doesn't even beat Michael's 126. So that was a pointless waste of time. I fucking lost. I nominate. I nominate. I'm a loser. Who do I nominate? Oh, I thought of the perfect person. Okay, I nominate Tom Avella to read the tweets of God Said. Best of luck to you. I hope you beat Michael's score because I failed.